boring matchup possible, which is both players going siege tank Viking builds
Yeah.
and then just inching back and forth towards each other. But then there's the hope there that we might see some nukes. I mean, that could be a possibility. If TLO was in this tournament, I'm sure we would see some nukes. Neens also, he is known for using nukes, so it's too bad that he isn't in the finals, as well as let's get this game on the way.
Yeah, for sure. So Stalife is going to get the easternmost spawn here, and he is the picture as on your little bottom of the screen there. Stalife is the picture on the right. Optikzero is going to get the westernmost spawn. He is the left picture, so pretty left-right, east-west kind of thing here as these images do finally line up for one of these games. Optikzero down 0-2 to Stalife. So Stalife in this best of 5 is looking to close the door here on Optikzero. If Stalife does win, it will leave 4 Terrans in the semifinals. As the chat was mentioning, it is very, very Terran heavy, very, very strong Terrans locally, and as I had actually kind of predicted earlier on, as I'm telling my friends as well, going to be a really, really tough way to battle against these guys. But Optikzero's got the last shot here. He's going to try to pull something out. He needs to go on a 3-0 run here to really, really put it home, and I hope he can do it. So we'll see. He's going to get a pylon and an early scout off. Stalife obviously doing the supply depot opening. Will most likely throw down a racks pretty shortly on about 13 is Stalife's racks count, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see which way that goes. This is the third round of the Canadian Cup. This is the final match of this round. We are almost in the fourth round of the semifinals. So the winner of this will face Druby in the semifinals. We will cast both those sets, the Druby set as well as the Northern set, which is Ganon versus Kawaris. So it's a pretty good little lineup here left over. Optikzero going to do a little harassment on the building SCV. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, all the viewers. If anybody's watching this on VOD, thanks to you guys as well. Anybody that is tuning in today that's helped us actually increase the viewer count, thank you. The sponsors do love to see that. Our sponsors are Coca-Cola, Sennheiser, Jinx, and A-Power, which actually Optikzero does get the building SCV from that barracks, so actually denies that from SCV. So a little bit of a victory there as that probe holds the ramp, and Optik's going to let its shield regenerate and head back in there for another kill. As I was mentioning, we are down at the DNA Internet Cafe in Richmond, British Columbia, and it's been a really fun day. This is, of course, Ice from L2SC TV. I'm joined by Bynum. We have been here all day from L2SC TV, and we're just really happy to bring you guys this event. All the information, anybody that's tuning in just now wants to see the brackets or anything like that, the prize pool is all listed at L2SC.net, so please check out the front page there, and all the information is posted. Stalife is going to most likely deny this probe here as it does not make its way out, but it's 1-1. It does pick up an SCV kill, so not too bad of a trade-off. Optikzero's going to open up with the standard Protoss opening gateway, pylon, Cybercore. Not really much else, as obviously Simulator is going to go down. Optikzero going to be on 2 gas a little sooner, so hopefully maybe we did see Optikzero utilize Phoenix earlier in the last game. They were very successful. Phoenix picking up 7 kills, 2 Phoenix getting 7 kills between them, easily paying for themselves, but just not following down that tech path. Hopefully Optikzero does show us again. I personally believe Phoenix are going to be the next frontier, the next push for Protoss to allow them to advance. Dark Templar is the other argument, of course. So we'll see. He is going to open Stargate, so we will hopefully see more solid Phoenix play, and hopefully he'll continue down that tech path, as they were very successful before stopping previously.
Well, I know White Raw used to always do this build versus Terran where he would go fast Void Ray and completely dominate Terran, and we haven't seen that in so long. Maybe Optikzero is kind of thinking about the old days and saying, okay, well, since nobody has done it for so long, why don't I do it and trip somebody up? But at the same time, actually, we saw Stalife scouting all the way up to the north position and then going all the way across. So once again, if you guys don't know, you cannot spawn vertically. You can only spawn horizontally and diagonally. You cannot spawn vertically from each other. So don't even bother scouting there. We'll save you just a little bit of time there. Maybe, I don't know, we'll allow you to get 10 more minerals with that SCV. There we go. Void Ray coming out.
You called it.
Looks like he's calling back to the spirit of White Raw. I mean, White Raw's dead or anything, but they're connecting from Europe to here.
Yeah, I don't know. This is White Raw, the Ukrainian, or I think he's Ukrainian. Obviously, player Liquid Tyler now, as he's known.
No, it's a different guy. Thinking of Noni.
Noni. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Noni is the Phoenix player. Obviously, yeah. So second Void Ray coming up in production. They are going to be able. The great thing about they're going to be able to charge on these rocks and deliver right into the base of Stalife. So if Stalife isn't ready for this, and he does have Stim complete, so he will be able to combat this. But he is getting his expansion up. Still producing Marines, which is good to see, but he is going to have some trouble with these Void Rays, as it second one is almost out for Optikzero. Optic is getting scanned, but Stalife going to be wondering what's up, as only one gateway up and nothing else in the front of Optic's base there.
As now Stalife advancing in the front of his base. Now he has to show his hand. He has to show what he has in his base. That one gateway actually getting canceled. 2 Void Rays here, going to try and target fire the Marines, try and get him out of here, as right now all there is left is Marauders, and now one Marine trying to micro his way around, trying to find out where that stinking Stargate is, so he tries to find it. Right now, 2 Marines and 1 Marauder being produced, as well as Marine shields being produced, so definitely making a good move here to try and defend against these Void Rays, as mass Marines here are now ready to protect against his base. If he can get the charge up on these rocks, he could have a good advantage, especially with that supply depot there. That's even a better thing to have, because then you can charge up on the rocks, get the full charge, and sustain that charge by microing on that supply depot, as it looks like he will be doing now.
Piggybacking right into Stalife's base. That sucks for Stalife. The Marines are going to engage. There are a lot of Marines. Their stimmed Marines are still very good versus charged Void Rays. Going to cost them 2 Void Rays, possibly some hull damage on the third, at least hull damage. So, ouch. Significant damage to Optikzero. So those Void Rays are repelled. Again, the tech path not able to really fluid itself out, and Optikzero is recovering now. He lost 1 gateway on that push from Stalife, so he's going to get the second gateway started, as well as robotics. He is significantly behind. He's getting his Nexus started, but Stalife has already started saturation on his natural. Worker count's about even, but Stalife will, with the completion of this orbital command, will have a pretty big economic advantage here over Optikzero in the short term.
Yeah, I mean, when you have Void Rays, you got to micro them like you micro Banshees. I mean, Banshees, you don't let them just take out Marines. You have to get them to target fire certain Marines and back out there as soon as you can, and use that flight speed to your advantage. As now a turret's going to go and get rid of, make sure that this Void Ray stays very far away. That turret acting almost like a fly swatter, although Void Ray is quite a large fly to swat. As well as, Immortal's actually coming out for Optikzero, but Stalife actually going to be delayed a little bit in his mining time, as now he's going to try and take out this expansion. Now, his expansion going to be well protected by this wealth of Marines, and maybe actually could micro this Void Ray back and forth between the bases to try and pull Stalife's army back and forth, and maybe halt some production, maybe annoy Stalife just a little bit to devote some of his APM to microing his units back and forth, rather than to actually macroing up his economy and his army. As there we go, now moving in with the Void Ray, trying to take out the engineering bay. Well, I don't know, he's just target firing whatever he can find. I don't even know if he cares that much, as actually his screen is just away, and he's losing. Yes, loses that Void Ray. It's a shame there for Optikzero, but I think Optikzero knows what he needs to do now. He needs to make sure that he counters those Marines and has 1 Immortal for the Marauders. I'd suggest going for a little bit more of the Zealots, maybe getting some Zealot charge to go against the Marines, and he should be sitting quite comfortably, or even get a Forge with armor upgrade level 1. We've seen that work really well in the past, especially against Zerg. I mean, why not? It'll work fine against Terran as well, but Terran is getting +1 upgrades right now for his ground army.
Yeah, you're mentioning obviously what will work. I actually really favor against a Terran when I random my way into Protoss versus Terran. I really favor Guardian Shield with the +1 armor. It mitigates. The Zealots natively had 1 armor, that gives them 2 armor, reduction of 2. They -4 damage from Marines and Marauders. So Marauders only do 5 damage, 6 damage. Marines only do 3 damage, right? So it's a pretty significant upgrade here, as Stalife is going to finish +1 weapons there very early, and he is going to start pushing up and look to probably close this as a primarily Marine army, as obviously the Void Rays force Stalife onto Marines. I don't think Immortals were the correct response to Marines, obviously, because Immortals don't do the damage that they do significantly. Optikzero is desperately trying to get, obviously has Twilight Council up. I don't know if he's trying to get Psystorm or Charge really quickly, but the Marine Ball from Optikzero will reach the front. A little bit of a cut. 2 Marines do get kind of cut out there, and Optikzero suffers no losses, but will have to reinforce. we check out the unit counts. Optikzero does have a pretty significant food lead here, as his ball is actually pushing in across. As he's seen, Stalife actually is pretty limited in terms of his units. The observer is scouting everything that's leaving Stalife's base, so Stalife is trying to increase his production, although a medivac drop of a Marauder and 3 Marines is working its way to the back of Optikzero's base, and will undoubtedly do a little bit of damage to those these loose pylons, as well as some of the workers, depending on what what Stalife is looking for from Optikzero. Optikzero going to push forwards into the natural of Stalife, force Stalife to build up some bunkers. Wow, constructing 4 bunkers, 1 already complete, so he is going to reach that before the bunkers are complete. There is the G shield, plus 1 attack already finished for Stalife. Stim does go down. Pretty significant. What do these call things? Immortal numbers. Thank you. Wow, I was trying to call them Marauders. Damage from the Marines is being eaten up. Lots of sentry damage in there. Sentries are getting popped now as the SCPs do join the front. The bunkers do finish. They aren't able to be loaded as the ball has been kind of cut off. Optikzero doing a good micro, but you can see all of his probes have been cleaned up by this 1 drop. So it's not like doing 2 things at once. It's not like mostly leaving this as it's just kind of an attack move here, but he has done significant damage to all of Optikzero's workers. All of the workers dead in the main. Optikzero has been reduced quite a bit in terms of his harvester count, and Stalife is going to clean up that attack, and it looks like Optikzero had to move, or didn't lose all the workers, but had to possibly move them to his main, and there's a good game from Optikzero as Stalife does clean up. We're going to have 4 Terrans in the semifinals, and we'll be heading into the semifinals pretty shortly.
It's too bad, but what I really would have liked